Okay, I thought it'd be helpful to do a tutorial on how to create the roof. There's actually many different ways you could create it. I'll go over one, add a few tips in there. You're welcome to experiment with different ways that you think may be more efficient. We always start with the plan. So here we are looking at the plan for our roof. These are the elevations. This is looking west at the house, south, north, east elevations. A couple things we need to note here. One, the slope of the roof is 12.5, which means for every 12 units that we travel horizontally, we're going to go 5 units up, or in this case 5 units down, 12.5 slope. Another thing we need to note is the elevation. I'm sorry, not the elevation, the overhang. We have a 21-inch continuous OH overhang all the way around the house, 21 inches all the way around the house. That's going to factor into our overall size of our roof. Here it is in the SketchUp, and you can see the shape of the roof. It's kind of got this Dutch hip, this is called a hip roof. So you can see we have 4 separate faces to this roof. All of them are sloped at the 12.5 slope. So how do we get it to this point? Well, let's first talk about the size of the house so that we can figure out the size of our roof. We can tell by looking at the plans that the house is 30 foot 6 inches by 40 feet. So let's start by making a rectangle that size. R for rectangle. And let's type in the dimensions. 40 feet, comma, by 30.5 feet, which is 30 feet 6 inches. So there we have a square exactly the size of the roof. Let's go ahead and push that up some. We're making some material here. Let's pull that up some. Let's just take it there. But we have a problem. We've got to factor in this 21-inch overhang on each side. You can go ahead and do the math and add that to it. Or you can just add the 21 on each side. So if I were to add 21 on the front side and 21 on the back side, that would be 42 inches. I'm just going to do that. Click the face, pull it out, 42. Enter. Click the side, push pull, pull it out, 42. Enter. And now I have the actual size of my roof, including the overhangs, which you can see it was 30 feet 6 inches, and now it's 34 when you add in the 42 inches, and it was 40 feet, and now it's 43.5 feet. Alright, let's make that a group before we get too far. Triple click in, should select every face, right click, make group. Another thing I like to do, let's get it out of here. Let's take it back. Let's take it back here where we can work on it. Alright, now it's time to start putting the slopes of our roof on each side of this block. I like to sometimes make tools, and we're going to make a 12.5 slope tool. Pretty simple. Starts by, get a downward view, make another rectangle. Make the rectangle 12 inches by 12 inches. So 12, comma, 12. Notice I did not 12, comma, 12. I did not put the inches symbol on our dimensions. Google SketchUp or SketchUp will automatically assume you mean inches if you leave the symbols off. Now I have a 12 by 12 block. How high do I want to come up with that? We're going to do a push-pull. Let's pull that thing up 5 inches. 5, enter. Now I've got a 12 by 12 by 5 inch tall block. Let's make that a group. Triple click in, right click, make group. Alright, that's our tool for figuring out the slope. Well, let's use our tool. Click on it one time, M for move. Bring it on over and set it right, snap it to the corner there. Boom. Now it's sitting inside of my material to make my roof. I'm going to edit this face. Now you might just start drawing a line, L for line, and think you're doing so awesome. But if you didn't actually get in to edit the face, you actually have not changed anything on the material for our roof. So make sure that you're actually triple clicked in. There's that. Triple click in. Now L for line. I want to grab this lower point, the corner, hit that corner. There's our 12.5 slope. Click, and now continue on. That's the secret. And then when I see that purple line, what it's telling me is that it's following that same slope. There we go. I'm just going to throw that up there. And now I'm going to come over here. Let's do this side. That's why we made that 12 by 12 blocks. Now I don't have to move my tool. Line there and continue it on. There it is. Excellent. Now let's move our tool. Click outside the box. Select just the tool. Now I can move my tool. And I want to move it over here to this other side. Triple click in. L for line. Corner, corner, continue on until it meets up with the other. There we go. We've just made our 12-5 slope on the front of our building. What I like to do here is, instead of recreating that on the back side, just copy and paste it back there. You'll have to select all the lines though in that slope. So I've got to triple click in. There's one line. Hold down Control. When I hold Control, the plus sign comes up. But be careful here. Make sure you grab the lower lines. There we go. And make sure you grab the lower lines. Come on. There we go. So now I actually have all the parts of that slope. I'm going to copy it. Control C. I'm going to rotate around the back side. Inside the block. There we go. And I'm going to paste it. There we go. See the dotted? Make sure you're actually into editing the group. Alright, let's finish off the other slope. Bring our little tool over here. There we go. Triple click in. L for line. Continue it on up. Where's that purple? There we go. Got it. A little cleanup work. Clean up as you go, just like in real life in construction, housekeeping. Alright, now I'm going to select every piece of those lines using Control. Control, that means I can add to it. If I've added something I don't want, oops, I don't want that there, I can hold down Shift, and Shift I can then click it again and it goes away. I have all the pieces of my line selected. I'm going to Control C, spin around, let's put it on the other side. Control V, snap it right in. There we go. I've got all my slopes set up. I can get my little tool out of there if I want. Thank you, tool. Alright, now we've got to do some magic in here. We've got to connect the peaks of the roofs across. We need a way that we can see through this. The way you see through it is by pressing the K. Letter K turns on hidden lines, and essentially you can see through the objects. Whatever's on the opposite side is shown with dotted lines, and I want to connect these peaks together. So triple click in, L for line, peak to peak. Hit escape after you connect the peaks to break your line. And now I'm going to connect this peak all the way over to this peak. If I don't hit escape, it's going to try and draw lines in other places. Escape. Alright, I've connected my roof peaks now. Now it's time to chop off some material. I'm going to chop off this whole top. So get your view right. I want to get rid of this top. I'm selecting the top. Oh, triple click in. Here we go. Select the top and hit delete. I got this guy. There we go. We need a quality check right here. You need to check and make sure you have all the faces of these roof slopes on here. If you don't, something's gone wrong and you need to fix it. Alright, I have all the faces of my slope. Now that's actually a pretty good looking roof. And if we were the architect, we may want to leave it just like that. But we're not. We've got to build it per the plans and specs. And so to finish this roof, we'll triple click in. We've got to add the valley lines. This is the valley here, up to the top. Continue the line down. Here. Spin around the other side. Up to the valley top here. Up to the top. Continue the line down. All the way down. Make sure you're not stopping short of the point. Make sure you're going all the way down to that lower corner. Alright, now once you have the valley lines in, it's time to do more trimming. Triple click in. Let's get rid of some pieces. Looking good. I'm just trimming away the excess here. And you can see the shape coming up. Alright, now just some cleanup work. I got these little tiny lines down here I need to get rid of. I can do that with my E eraser. Oops, too much. Control Z. There we go. Little bit of cleanup work. Alright, there we go. So there I have my finished roof to the proper dimensions. If I wanted to get fancy here, I could hit B for bucket, and I could choose from the drop down roofing, and I could choose a pretty roof color, and I could paint those surfaces with that roof color. That's kind of nice sometimes. Now I have a roof painted. Hey, how do I get this thing onto the house with that 21-inch overhang? Well, I like to move it, and I almost always will move by the edges. Let's just set it. Now that's not in the right spot, but we're going to work with it. I'm actually aligned on this corner, which makes... Oh, wait. Let me put it on the actual house. Here we go. I'm actually aligned on this corner, which makes my other sides hanging over too much. How do I get it centered on there? Well, what I like to do, since I know it's a 21-inch overhang, grab the corner, start sliding it on the axis. I want to make sure I get the right axis. There we go. And just type in 21. So there, I've just centered it left to right, and now I need to center it on the sides. M for move. See, I'm going to slide it on the axis. Type in 21. There we go. And now, when I look at it, it should be centered all the way around. Time to fill in some dimensions, and then we'll about be ready to print, which I will show in the next video. Dimensions are over here. Dimension key. There we go. And the overall roof size, 43.6. Let me get rid of that one. And there we go. Let's move this one up. M for move. Let's get that one out of our way. Looks a lot like the drawing that we are striving for.